wanted to talk about a couple things about the drums. I first should preface it by saying, well, this is the main shebang really. I have an uncanny and sometimes detrimental obsession with symmetries, whether it be right-left symmetries, top-down, radial, but especially right-left symmetries. I seem to obsess to the point where it's unhealthy. And it's funny that I would choose drums as an instrument, considering how absolutely obsessive I am about symmetry. This is probably the most asymmetric instrument you could possibly get. Completely right dominant in the term, of course, on a right-handed kit. People say Mike Mangini is excessive with his kit. I don't think it's excessive. If you look at it carefully, it really is just a standard kit with 2 floor toms, and it's completely mirrored. And it's got a remote hi-hat on both sides, so he can play completely left-handed. It's literally he doesn't have to move, and he can suddenly play a left-handed kit. And I do like playing left-handed. Like, I think this is sort of unreasonable in many people's eyes, but not to me. I think I should be able to hop onto a left-handed drum kit and play equally as well. Of course, that's never going to happen because I'm right-handed, but I think I should have some proficiency in the left-hand department. So I do practice with the left hand, and I like playing open-handed. I was taught to play the typical fashion, right-handed. So this is my setup, and there are a couple things that I would change about it if I had the funds for it right now. I want to dedicate this hi-hat to my left hand. I'll play with my right hand once in a while, if it calls for it, but it's primarily going to be my left hand hi-hat. I want another ride here, and I want another hi-hat here. I would ideally actually want the hi-hat here to be controlled by my left foot, just like this hi-hat. So it would be like a right-handed kit, and I could do all the stuff like that. And then I would have another hi-hat pedal on the outside of the bass drum pedal to the right. That would control this hi-hat. And then I could play, imagine this pedal would be, my right foot would be controlling this, and I could play the left bass drum. So, and that would be just completely left-handed, but I wouldn't have to change anything about my setup at all. And this is what Mike Mangini has. His kit is symmetric in order for him to do that. Because he's obsessed with like left and right-handedness as well. His kit is not excessive. It just reflects what he wants out of the drum kit. It's a standard drum kit. It's just mirrored, so that in actuality, what he's playing at a time, whether it be a right or left-handed setup, is only purely standard, really. So what I want in the kit, like I just said, is be able to play right and left-handed. But so I wanted to show you a couple things that I do with right and left-handedness. I think open-handed playing, of course, is something, I'm not saying you should practice open-handed playing or whatever, but I think you should give it, I guess I am, I think you should give it some time. Be able to play open-handed. It really does open up a lot of possibilities. Imagine if you had an X hat here, and you could do all sorts of tom stuff while still keeping your right hand in time. And you don't have to, sacrifice tone and use the right symbol instead. What if you just do it with your left hand instead? Why don't you just do it with your left hand? Like, why are you fancying up the setup because you have an incapability with your left hand? I don't think that's right. People will disagree with me. Oh, it's a right-handed instrument. And I suppose a guitar player would be like, why would you want to be able to play a left-handed guitar? That makes no sense. But drums is different. Drums is all about symmetry. This is why I play match grip. I don't really consider traditional grip. It's because of the obsession with the symmetry I have. If I were to play traditional grip, I would have to learn it the other way too, just because I'm that obsessive. And so I play match grip because it's symmetric. And everything, all these rudiments, you gotta lead with right hand, lead with left hand. Everything about the rudiments is completely symmetric. There's no right or left hand dominance in drums. It's a different approach. The rhythms are symmetric. This is not the case in guitar, piano, trombone, trumpet. This is simply not the case. It is the case for drums though. All the rhythms and all of the exercises are completely symmetric to build your playing ability. It's just not like that in other instruments. You have a dedicated left hand which plays the bass on the piano, and then right hand's like treble, and then they go up and down. But you never would play like this just because, of course there are crossovers in piano, but you're not just gonna play like this just because it's like an exercise that you would want to do or something. Well, sometimes I do that, but that's kind of weird, right? But drums is like that. That's the nature of drums. You're supposed to do that. Be able to do everything with your left hand that you can do with your right hand. So enough talking. I just wanted to show you a couple of things that I've been working on. And the first thing I'll do, I'll try to play completely left-handed. I'll use the left kick pedal, and I'll lead with my left hand on the hi-hat and my right hand on the snare. So this is completely left-handed. If you have a double kick pedal, I would suggest this too. Close the hi-hat and try to play completely left-handed. So I'm going to try that right now after I turn on the gain. And right after that, I'll play for you a right-handed beat, a little Latin groove, and I'll attempt to switch it. I'll attempt to mirror it entirely for my left hand. And it's extremely difficult for me right now, but I'll try to do it. But so here it goes, left-handed playing. So that left-handed playing in the beginning was just absolutely atrocious, but I hope I can illustrate the point. Obviously, I need to practice, and my left-hand coordination is poor and just terrible. But I think that should be able to be done. With the mirroring of this, I mean, we're bilaterally symmetric beings. I think we owe it to ourselves to pay attention to the left side. How could we? We're not like, what's like a right hand? We're not a fiddler crab, you know? Like, if I was a fiddler crab, then I would have no problem playing drums just using the right side or the left side if I was a left-handed fiddler crab. But I'm not a fiddler crab, right? I'm completely bilaterally symmetric externally. And I think I should really express that in my instrument. And drums are a way for me to do that. You know, I realized, I said in the beginning that it was strange for me to choose drums as a primary instrument, being that I'm so obsessed with this sort of stuff. But really, if I chose guitar or piano or anything else as my primary instrument, I would not be able to apply this same logic to the symmetries. I can't just flip the piano so that the treble is suddenly on the left side. I'm sure I could download a program that would do that on my keyboard for me, but like, it's not typical. So basically that's really all I have to say. I think I should be able to play left-handed. I don't play well left-handed at all, but it's sort of like a new thing that I've been working on. But with the Latin beat, so that takes kind of a lot of coordination to be able to flip it in your head. And the reason, of course, the reason I didn't flip my right foot was still playing the bass drum because I don't have a hi-hat on the right-hand side. But I mean, they're both in unison, so it wouldn't have really mattered anyways if I switched it. The voicing would still be the same. Yeah, so that's all I have to say. Those are really cool beats. And let's say that really opened up my horizons a little bit. I mean, like, let's say I've got my right hand here. If I'm playing it right-handed, the Latin beat, I'm limited to really, you know, up here. I guess I can't really play this one. And maybe that's not too big of a deal. You have another floor tom here anyways. But if I've got the left hand here going on this cowbell, this little pattern here, I have free range of the kit. You know, I can't really play that. That's too far. That thing's too far. This cymbal is a little far. But anyways, my point is it just opens a lot of options. And imagine if you could just like hop onto a little left-handed kit or a right-handed kit if you're left-handed and just play equally well. I think that's the pipe dream, really. I think that would be awesome, and I strive to do that. And this is what I admire so much about Mangini, even though everyone hates on Mangini for some reason. Yeah, whatever, Dream Theater or whatever. But I think he has a really unique approach to drumming. I think it was started initially by Gary Chester, who wrote New Breed. And he had a lot of, his kit was symmetric. I think he had 2 bass drums. And it was just sprawled out from there. Snare drum, then toms, like that. And his book, New Breed, you really see that. You have the, when you first start learning from New Breed, there's an ostinato pattern, which is just 8th notes on the ride cymbal. And then you play combinations of 16ths on the right and left kick. So you got ding, 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 but you got on the left and right, you got do, like stuff like that. And that's going to take some serious coordination, right? I mean, just mastering those exercises would be enough already. And then he's got this left-handed ride cymbal, so now it's like completely mirror all of the images. And then ding, 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 and then do it completely left-handed. Do and that's absolutely insane that he was proficient enough to do that. He was proficient enough to actually write an exercise book, do this because I've done this, and it's apparently extremely helpful, is what he was saying. And so yeah, since I don't have $300 something to buy a remote hi-hat, I'm thinking I'm going to put an X-hat here, just a closed hi-hat here, so I can have some open-handed, right-handed playing. And just keep my primary hi-hat, and probably get another ride right here, so I can just ride right here. That'd be really sweet, I think. So anyways, I've probably rambled too long, and thanks for watching. So practice the left hand. We're drummers, right?